this fleet, once again, are seeing the benefits to be had from starting closer to the island, and most of them are gathering there. There are a few that have started up at the outer end of the line and are hoping to make it to the mainland shore, where the tide should, in theory, have turned towards the west, but they've got to get there first. That's going to be the problem. So the bulk of the fleet choosing to start down at that end of the line. We've got a beautiful, I don't think is that a classic boat, James? We've got a Swedish boat to sail number Swede 1, and a beautiful yawl. Is that?
Refinot.
Ah, right.
Frederick Wallenberg.
Going really well as well.
SNS 63, so they're starting in 20 seconds time in Class 2, IRC 2, and with the tide getting stronger, you really do want to stay clear of the line, don't you?
You certainly do. We're just getting onto it now and looking down at those transits, and there's already someone who's struggling to get back to the line. I'm not sure which class they're in, but...
Here's the final countdown from the race officers. That's 2 guns. Individual recall.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see where that might be.
And X-ray displayed, says the race officer. So it's going to be very hard for that boat to get back.
Well, it wasn't the Grimaldi Line's car carrier, because that was definitely behind the line. So.
Well, there's one still trying to get back closer to the Rolex inner distance mark. The Swedish SNS boat Refinot just leading them across the line, and there's also 40-13, which is sailplane. That's a first 40. They're one of the leaders over the line. Closer to the squadron, we've got the black sail numbers of 8409, which is Galahad Logic, another first 40. I can only see one boat trying to get back at the moment.
There didn't seem to be a lot. We were right on the line when the gun went, and there didn't seem to be an awful lot of boats. It wasn't a big gaggle that were over the line. One of the other boats that I see now inching out in front is Jim McGregor with his Premier Flare, his Elan 410. He's another one to watch, because he is superb in the Solent. Well, he's a superb sailor all round, but he's particularly good in the Solent. He's raced many times here, lots of offshore races, and he got a very clean start there, actually. Nice bit of clear air. The breeze is definitely building. We can feel a knot or two now, definitely. As Ian said, it's not just the tide, this is the start of the sea breeze, but it's going to be a very slow build, but a few people making the best of it. The Swedish yawl that made a beautiful start to start with. They had plenty of speed. I think they got a little bit concerned in the last few seconds that they were getting too close to the line and were going to be swept over. I don't think they were. I think they were still a boat length behind. They made a great start, but unfortunately sailed into a bit of a hole and have parked up a little bit, and the smaller boats are now sailing around them. There's quite a lot of first 45, first 40s, I think they are, around them. Just inching out in front.
I'm trying to work out, there's a French boat which looks like it's Jerry Tronteau, who seems cruising back through the fleet. I'm just wondering if he started late and is restarting. Just trying
43772 coming back with the Jenica set back to the line. I have got an entry list here of that class, but I'm not quite sure.
So my predictions
it's
for him doing
Courier
well.
de Lyon, yes.
Okay, so that's Jerry Tronteau. Well,
clearly
that's
he's class 3.
that's not a good start for someone who we have down as a favourite. But having said that, he's got plenty of speed. He's got his Jenica up at the moment, and he's sailing back to the line. He's certainly got some breeze, which he wouldn't have had half an hour ago.
7383 is PRD Consult Puma, Stuart Wilkie, and off go RC Class 2. So good news, the tide certainly kicking in here, and as the tide ebbs, and we've got a bit of a breeze as well. So everything coming together for the start of Class 1 and RCZ and the CK and the Volvo 65s. 2630 is a Saga for Sailing GB, and got a few people out on the rail there. Slow progress, but their race is underway, and it really is fantastic event to be part of. Everybody, of course, hoping for a bit more breeze later on in the race. Sometimes the Fastnet takes just a couple of days, and sometimes it doesn't. You never know what's going to happen.
I think it was interesting in that start, Simon, that for the first time that it wasn't the lured boat that made the best start, and the group slightly further in the middle of the line are leading that start into the Solent. There's I guess there's a little bit more pressure now coming off the mainland shore, and if you're the lured boat, it's difficult to find a lane of clear air to leeward of the huge group of sails to windward of you.
Yeah, and Kokomo 1415 has had a good start there, and 8409 they've got clear air as well on Galahad Logic. Behind them it is the Royal Navy ensign on 8883, which is volunteer, Royal Navy Reserve. 7743, they've had a good start too. Kestrel and James and Matt out on the commentary boat. Who have you got there?
We were just alongside a J120 Maverick, and that's clearly a two-handed boat, unless they've sent the rest of the crew down below to keep the weight down, but I suspect not. And then we're alongside Arndt, I think it's called, which is an X. I can't quite see what it is, but it's a German boat. 4955, just ghosting along. They're an IRC 2.
But I have to say they are sort of ghosting in a slightly more positive way than the boats that started half an hour ago, Matt. They
definitely are.
They're ghosting with meaning and sort of direction and slight pace.
And if you were looking for meaning and direction and pace, if you were looking down the Western Solent as we are from the middle of the line, the boats now that set off much earlier on have definitely got some breeze down there, and it must be the sea breeze, because they're going across on port tack from the island side to the mainland side, and you can see they've got a fair bit of speed on, at least compared to what we've been seeing so far. So at least in that sense, the forecast for the sea breeze to develop looks like it is playing out, and that there is breeze coming in, and that this fleet won't just simply get parked up in the Western Solent for the afternoon.